that when you have a listing opportunity and let people know that we are indeed luxury at a very high level. Total listings taken 30,000 plus, total listings sold 20,000 plus, almost 21,000. Closed sales volume by listings sold about 35 billion. Total buyer closings about 22. I think closings, that's total number of closings, 22,507. The closed sales volume of the buyer side closing is a little bit more, 38 billion. Total closed sales, 43,451. We're going to talk about this with our guests in just a little bit, but I love the one too. I always share this. Second from the bottom, total number of agents that involved or transactions that involved referrals, 5,784. How many of those are you getting? This is part of the opportunity for you to be networking with this group and people around the country when we have guests from other part of the country on, to know that there are referral opportunities everywhere. And we'll talk about that in just a little bit. Total volume from those transactions is 12 billion from, so very cool. Referral opportunities and getting together and meeting other agents is part of the enormous opportunity. You've got a great referral opportunity coming up in February. Does anyone know what that is? Does anyone know what that is?
Family reunion.
Family reunion. Thank you for shouting that out. Yes, family reunion is in Orlando and tickets have gone on sale. I'm guessing that they expect, Ariel, what, 20,000 or so for family reunion? I think that is the number. So if you haven't jumped on that, I would jump on it right away because it's an enormous opportunity. If you think about this, if you get 5 in the morning over coffee, 5 at lunch, and 5 in the evening, and you do 15 a day for 3 or 4 days, you'll have 50 or 60 people who are, you know, engaged at a pretty high level. They're learning based, and those monies will come back to you. You will get referrals out of that. So we encourage you to sign up for family reunion, among other things. We also have, Ariel, can we do this? I'm going a little out of order, but I'm thinking about it now. In January, we were working on our inspirational breakfast and awards, which you were actually working on this morning, right? So what date is that? That's January what?
It is going to be January 26th.
January 26th.
That's it. And it'll be a luncheon this year. So it'll be, doors open at 11.
So mark that down on your calendar because it'll come up fast because we're about to hit the holidays next week, right? And then everybody disappears. And then all of a sudden we come back and boom, there's this inspirational brunch and awards on your calendar. And it'll come up fast because we used to do it in March after the family reunion. We're doing it before now. So we'll have some inspirational piece and then we'll have awards. And then we have a guest speaker who will share strategies, but it'll be a powerful day starting at, I think, 11 o'clock in the morning. 10:30, 11 on that day, and take us to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So put that on your calendar as well. All right, so let's jump into our guest today. We're super excited to have somebody from our own region to talk. We're going to put her in the spotlight. She is Heather Caine from the Caine Luxury Team. Heather, welcome.
All right, there I am. Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you're welcome. We're glad to hear your voice and glad to see today you have some tremendous stuff for us to share. Your team has had a spectacular year. You're pushing 200 million in sales. This has been amazing for you, hasn't it?
It really has. And you know, what you just said is team, right? Because it's definitely not something I've done alone. I've had an amazing team and amazing leadership that has helped us get there.
Yeah, and you sell all types of properties, but really today we're focused on the luxury area and building a luxury brand. And you have some great tips you want to share with us, right?
I do. You know, I never think about what's right now. I always think about what's our future going to look like and having a clear vision and who's going to come with you on that future. So I'm excited to share today.
All right, so let's jump in. We're going to share the screen here so you can see your cover slide. You're out of the Naples Market Center. And I love what you say here. We inspire authenticity, but not perfection. Tell me what you mean by that.
Well, if anyone knows me, they know that there's nothing perfect about myself. What I really mean by that is so many times people wait for something to be perfect before they take a leap of faith. And unfortunately, perfection does not exist except for someone from the big upstairs. But I'm here to tell you that if you don't take action in your business and you're waiting for the perfect time, the perfect tools, the perfect people, it's just never going to happen. So lead with authenticity, not perfection.
Yeah, I love that you say that. That's actually something Gary Keller shares with us all the time, right? Perfection is overrated. Just go for it. And it may get a little bit messy, but have good intentions and you can work pieces out, right?
Correct. It's all learning process.
It's all learning process. All right. So
Yes.
what are we going to learn today? Let's go see the three bullet points that you have that you're really going to take us through. So tell us kind of the bullet points.
Yeah, so the three strategies that are super important to me in my business is one is strong leadership, and we're going to dive into that on the next slide. Really, what makes you different? Do you know your value proposition that in 30 seconds, and does your team know their value proposition? And then also the hub for growth, which is called caneagent.com. For me, I always think about, how can I provide more tools and resources for my agent that are in one spot so they can go to everything and find what they need to grow their business.
Awesome. So that's a great way for us to kind of lay out where we're headed today. And so let's start with agent leadership team. Talk about that. You said collaboration is important.
Yeah, so these are my rock star leaders on my team. So what is really, really important to me is as a leader in the luxury space, when you're in your business and you're working it day to day, I tend to think on a different level. And so you have to have people that are on your leadership team that know what the agent needs, that can then make the leader of the organization provide the tools, resources that they need to grow their business. So this leadership council, really big decisions are all about collaboration. I'm a firm believer that if you collaborate with others, you gain respect and you gain loyalty. So really making sure as a leader in a luxury space, think about the people that you're around and make sure that they can give you authentic advice that can help you grow your business and that you're in it together. And when you collaborate, big things can happen.
So what you're really doing is like we do with market centers, you're doing with your team, you're taking people of a certain level and time, or tell us about kind of how I become a part of the leadership team.
Yeah, so all of our leaders have the opportunity, all of our agents have the opportunity to become in leadership. They have to be with me a certain amount of years. They also have to have a certain amount of production, and they also have to be proficient in all of our tools in order to get into leadership. But what happens is when they're in the leadership, we meet every single month. I coach them myself, and then I've hired a coach for them because also the leaders have teams within my organization that are then passing down the information of what the coach is providing them.
Awesome. So, and then part of your mantra is to create opportunity for people. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so if you go to the next slide, one of the reasons why I partnered with Keller Williams was well, actually, there's so many reasons, right? Let's be real. But one of the big things that you guys do is you profit share, right, in the market center. So you share half that profit back to the agents. And I believe that if you profit back to your leadership team and to the team that you have, that's going to create everyone to be stickier, right? But then it also knows that you're not always worried about what's mine, right? I'm a firm believer, just like this quote, if you help enough people, you'll get what you want. But the second you lead with what's mine, you're never going to get there. So if you look across, I'm very big on culture, and everything on our team is about ours. There's everything is about how we can help each other. And I think as a leader, especially in the luxury space, you have to surround yourself by the right people to help you achieve the goals that you need.
Yeah, so you're talking about really a profit share piece, which actually people may not know this because we don't talk about it a lot. But if you read in the MREA book, there's actually a model described in there about how a mega agent team can actually share back within their team, in addition to the sharing that's done in the market center. And that's kind of what you're talking about, that type of thing, right?
Yeah, so what I believe that, and also too, in order to attract a talent, right, to your team. So how many luxury agents are out there that want to have an awesome buyer's agent, an awesome listing agent? But in order to do that, you have to make it a win-win, right? The second there's absence of value, you question money. So I think that as long as you, as a leader of your organization, always think about how you can help someone grow their income, that's passive, you're going to build an empire.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. And if you haven't signed up for the business planning clinic, that's a piece that's in the business planning clinic. And if you want to build that into your business, you can absolutely do that. It's part of the model that Gary Keller laid out. So, all right, design team. Let's jump to design team because you've got kind of three pieces to this that are really important and make a difference to you. So tell us about
Yes.
your design team.
Yeah, so one of the things when I moved here to Southwest Florida, and I only moved here 7 years ago. Can you believe that? So everything we've built, our team has really been done in the last 6 years, which I'm super grateful for that. But what I noticed when I moved here to Southwest Florida is there was a lot of outdated homes, right? Especially nowadays in this market, the outdated homes are the ones that sit a little bit longer, but then have more opportunity. So what we did is we created our own interior design firm. So that design firm helps not only with staging homes, but they help with complete construction and remodels, and they also help with furniture install, everything you can possibly think of. We can design from A to Z, whether it's staging or interior design.
Yeah, and so these are some examples, right, of before and after and what you've done to enhance the home and make it more saleable, right?
Yeah, so what we say is we like to invest in their investment, right? We're partnering with those sellers to make sure that we can transform a space that all buyers are going to love, and that's going to put more money back into the seller's pocket. Because if you partner with a seller, just like I'm partnering with my agents to help them get the highest ROI on a property, that is going to create a win-win, not only with the agent becomes sticky to myself as the leader, right? Because they can't get this design firm without being part of the Caine and KW family. But then it also makes that client be sticky with my agent, because they know that they also can't get it if they're not part of our organization.
Yeah. So
And
is
it's
design part of your background, Heather? I mean, is that what you would say is part of your expertise, even as you came into real estate?
Yeah, so my husband and I have been real estate investors for a long time. We tend to move every 2 years, and we buy houses on auctions and flip them and all that fun stuff. So I'm not a licensed interior designer. I've learned by experience and track trends. And so what I've done is I've attract talent that also does this as well. And that's who you saw on the previous slide as far as designers and staff for the interior design firm.
Yeah, and so this has really become a strength zone for you. I guess what I'm asking is if I'm a luxury agent, maybe I'm a solo agent, or I'm just getting into the luxury space, can I add this piece right away, or how would I do this? Would you have a thought on that?
Yeah, so in the beginning, I've invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in inventory. So I have warehouses and all of that. So as a brand new agent in the luxury space, you probably can't do that right this minute. But look for those strategic partners that you can partner with that can help you. You always have to look at yourself in the luxury spaces. How am I different? What can I offer that no one else can offer? Right? And how is that going to increase money in their pocket? Because if I'm at a listing appointment and I know I have 5 other agents that are there, and I know who they are because I just had them, I know who my competition is. I know what they can offer and I know what I can offer. There's no way that they're going to be able to win outside of what I can offer. So know your competition and know what makes you level up above them, because that's going to make you win.
Yeah, I love that. We call that in FSO, we call that benchmarking and trending, and that's really what you're talking about, right? And then finding the right strategic partners that can take you to that next level because you've got an offer that nobody else can match. I love that. So thank you for sharing that. All right, so let's jump to growth and development and the next piece of what you do that's really strategic with the Caine Agent Hub. Tell us about that.
Yeah, can you go ahead and put those slides up for me, please? Fantastic.
There we go.
Okay, so how many of our luxury agents, have you thought about how can I keep my brand consistent, right? Because one of the biggest problems as a luxury agent or luxury team is that as you grow, you lose brand identity because you have too many people doing all different things, right? So what we've created is we've created a hub. It's called caneagent.com. It's a place that all of my agents can log into, and they can get access to hundreds of different social media posts, holiday posts, and it keeps our brand consistent, because the goal is that if someone sees a marketing piece that's yours, they don't even have to look for the logo. They can identify your brand. So while you're looking through this presentation, you'll see that our brand is very identifiable, and then we have consistency not only from photography but down to everything that we do. So
Yeah.
here's also, yeah, go
How
ahead.
did you get to the consistency, Heather? I mean, so what would you say to people who are kind of hit and miss? By the way, this is throughout our industry and everything we do, right? It's getting systematized. How do we get a handle on this piece?
Well, I took control of it, to be honest with you. I think that's really what needs to happen as far as when it comes to the brand. But you have to provide the value, right? So if you're going to say, hey, you have to use this, you have to make sure that it's something that people want to use, that they enjoy, they have options. And so through this program, we have tons of different, pendings, just listed, open house, postcards, everything created for our agents. And all they have to do is put their name, email, picture. They can add the bio, all kinds of stuff like that. So it's creating that level of consistency that really makes you stand out above the rest. And when you're going up against other agents, right? The homeowner also needs to be able to see that your brand is different. So I think what Caine has done is really be firm on our branding, so that way we have consistency, and it's so recognizable that you don't even need to see the logo.
So when you say firm on branding, what specific things, Heather, just as examples, might be there every time? The logo, and then what other things might I say? She always does that. That's the Caine luxury team. That's what they do. Is there something tangible like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's everything down to the design, to your branding design, down to the logo, to color scheme, to the professional pictures of the agents, to the properties. So there's just a certain level of consistency and branding that really just wows the customer. I also have, you'll see here, I have 3 different types of listing presentations already prepared. They're absolutely gorgeous. And so the agents can go in on a non-luxury, a luxury, or also we have a luxury templated one for the KW luxury tablet, that they could go in here and do that and put and have it already done for them. So it just creates all of our even listing presentations to be consistent. We also have buyer presentations, buyer booklets, seller booklets, and all of it's a level of consistency that all of our agents use here.
And again, this is something you built over time, right? So you started to develop this and then refined it as you went.
So it's funny that you say that, Mark, because I had a vision of this, of doing this probably 5 years. So I've been in real estate for 17. I've been a broker for 13. I had an office in Texas. And then they came here. So I'm not just in real estate for this short period of time, but this is something that I wanted to create probably 10 years ago. And it takes time. I mean, I think that that's so important when you're in real estate. You always want to do everything, and you can't. So my design company, it took 10 years to build that. Everything takes time in order, but as long as you're taking that one step forward every single day, then you're going to get there. It's the people that just give up, or the people that say, that's too much, I can't do it. But just baby steps get you to the big results.
Yeah, so consistency and one step at a time is what I kind of wrote out of this section. That's great tips.
Yes.
Okay, so then you've got Caine tutorials. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so what we've also done is we've created a platform that all of our agents can go to, and then they can have access to all the videos of everything that we've done. So as you're growing that luxury brand, you have to make sure that you have the tools that your agents or people on your team need, so they can go back and see everything that they need to help them grow their business. So it's a platform of a video tutorials for them.
And so what types of videos are on there?
We have everything from our orientation, so you can go back and see what our orientation is that we do every month, a circle prospecting, listing presentations, all of our technology training, all of our marketing training. We have everything there in one place, so the agents can go back and watch it as many times as they need to.
Yeah, and so are these also pieces that kind of ingrain the culture and the values of the team?
It does, yeah. If you attend it, our agents that attend orientation, I would say the first half of our orientation is actually based on culture. It's about what we do as an organization, because we can't do it alone. The numbers that you said for me is 200 million. That's I'm a fraction of that. It's the team, and you have to recognize that as the leader and give credit where credit is due.
Yeah. Great stuff. We've got a question in the chat box, so I'll just bounce it off you now. And remember, we'll open it up for you guys to ask questions here at the end. So be taking good notes, and feel free to ask the questions when they come to you or here at the end. Donna Pezzi's asking, curious on the consistent design, do you even use the same font for each piece?
We do. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I would think that's part of the recognizability, right? Like we do with lots of things, right? Coke doesn't change the font on their Coke cans and like that. That the idea is brand recognition, and people should hold one or two brands in their mind. This is straight out of the MRA book too, right, Heather?
Yes, it is. And I will tell you, over time, it's taken time to find the right fit to help me with my branding. But I know our marketing team will send me stuff and I'm like, nope, doesn't have the right branding message. So you have to, as the leader, make sure that you have your eyes and ears on what that brand identity looks like, and there is level of consistency. I mean, even down to colors, the background, the lines, and the templates, the fonts. I mean, everything is so important.
Yeah, great. You were an independent company here in Florida, and then you partner with Keller Williams. And the next thing you're going to talk about is really kind of the value you saw in that, right? The luxury tools and the referral network that Keller Williams has.
Yeah, so I was my own independent brokerage, and then what happened, and I'll be totally transparent with you guys, is Naples is a very luxury city. We have more millionaires per square mile here in Naples than in Manhattan. And in order to compete in that luxury space, you have to have luxury tools and you have to have a national and international brand. And as Caine Premier Properties, which is what I was, I found that when I was going after this luxury real estate, I was not winning as much as I wanted to win. Even though I offered the world, I offered, I'm going to stage your house for no charge. I'm going to offer all of this, which is funny because that value hasn't changed yet. My business has grown just by being partnered with KW. So I think I was the perfect excuse. I used to say, yeah, I don't need the big name. I'm good. Well, if you want to compete in luxury, and you even not in luxury, to be honest with you, just having the backbone of the KW, you're not worried about selling the company because everyone knows who the company is. You're only worried about making sure that they use you as the agent.
Yeah, I love that. And when you talk about luxury tools, you've got the magazine up there. What would be the other luxury tools? It's really the global market, right? And kind of the other places you go with your listings.
I think for me, what was really important was to be able to explain to the luxury clients that all of our listings get translated to 28 different languages. They get syndicated out to Wall Street Journal, Mansions Global, Barron. We have a buyer mapping program where we can strategically map where buyers are coming from to here. We've invested over $1 billion in technology to make sure that their houses are seen in the right way. So for me, there was so much with the luxury that is really just educating the consumer on why you have to partner with a national and international brand. And I don't think that agents probably do that as much as they should because people just assume that they know it. But people do not know that Keller Williams is the #1 luxury company in the world. And I think what our team does is we say, hey, listen, not only are we with the #1 luxury real estate company in the world, but our team multiple times has been #1 in the entire region for Keller Williams. And it's just educating that consumer that the Sotheby, the Ravis, and maybe I shouldn't mention those names, they're not #1. We are. And how are we going to educate the consumer on that?
Yeah, well, I love what you just did there, and I'm guessing a lot of people recognize it. That was a script, right? I mean, that's not the first time you said it's translated into 28 different languages. We're in the Wall Street Journal, we're in Mansion Global. You're running down those things regularly.
I'm running my value proposition, Mark.
That is right. Well,
That's
and
why
I love
all
that.
my agents in here are smiling because they know our value proposition. If someone comes up to you in the store and says, what makes you different? You need to be able to rattle that off in 30 seconds.
Yeah,
And you need to know it like the back of your hand.
Yeah, and that's your luxury piece that you can share with people. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you. All right. So, and then referral network. Talk to us about the referral network because we talked about all the referrals that have happened. You've just tapped into that again recently, right? But you tap into it all the time.
Yeah. So I love that $12 billion in referrals. I mean, that is huge. 5,700 you said in referrals shared. I mean, that is phenomenal. That is one of the reasons I tell my agents all the time why we're here, right? Because if you're not tapping into that network, you're missing opportunity. And I laugh when I go through and I see how many people don't even have a profile up, right? So what are you not sharing? You need to be sharing who you are, what makes you different. You got kids, your hobbies. It's amazing what people will connect with you on, right? I'll give a perfect example. I'm literally getting in my car yesterday and my husband's helping me with something and I got a New York number. My husband's from New York. So I thought, oh gosh, I hope everything's okay. Maybe it's someone. So I answer the phone. He goes, hey, Heather, this is John from New York. And I was like, hey, John, how's it going? And he goes, I'm the #1 team here in New York, and I saw your profile on Command, and I want to partner with you. And I was like, that is amazing. Like, think about that. He's done over 459 units so far this year, and he wants to build a relationship with my team because he has clients relocating here to Naples all the time. And we have clients on our team that are relocating to New York. So just in, I always say you need 3 things to grow your business, right? 3 different spheres. Why is Command in the referral network not one of them? $12 billion in business has been sent through our network, right? That is opportunity that so many agents are missing out on. And we live in Florida, which is we have so much luxury real estate to be sold here. I don't know about you guys, but don't you want to sell that luxury real estate? Have you strategically farmed out exactly your area? We all farm. Why are we not farming on the command of who we want to target as far as agents?
Yeah, I love it. Those are great tips. And going back to what you said for this call from New York, right? The place they found you was your profile, because you didn't just fill it in and say, okay, that's done. You were specific and strategic about the message and trying to appeal to people at a higher level, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah. Especially with what I wrote down is kids, hobbies, all the particulars about who you are and what you're about.
Who's your favorite football team? I mean, go for it, right? Try to appeal to as many people as you can.
Yeah. And when we have these networking events, which we'll no doubt have at Family Reunion and other places as we start to congregate together again, these are huge opportunities to get face to face with other realtors and start collecting and doing like a 1x12, a regular marketing campaign to them, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like, for me with my team, and I don't know about all of you guys out there that are watching, but we've just scratched the surface when it comes to the referral network. And that to me is got to be the pulse in your business within Keller Williams, because that's a big reason why we're all here, right? Is to collaborate, work together as a team. KW as a whole is a family. So why are we not making sure that we're helping each other with growth?
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So let's go to the next piece, which is what you learned in the past year. What have you learned in the past year?
I know some of you may look at this and be like, what in the world, right? And I said I'm authentic, so I'm going to speak authenticity right now. As realtors in this industry, we all get caught up so quickly on the next deal, the next customer. We're answering the call at 7 in the morning. We're, midnight. We're doing all of that. And what I see so many times in business is people say yes to the wrong things. Okay. They say yes to procrastinate from something that is revenue generating, but they also say yes and they're taking time from themselves. So I always say, when you say yes to others, make sure you're not saying no to yourself. And I think that's so important as you grow a business. If your cup is not full, you cannot pour out to others. Not at growing a business with your customers, with your clients, you just can't do it. I had COVID a few weeks ago, and I was basically homebound for 10 days, and my family was so happy.
Why were they happy?
Why they were so happy? Because mom wasn't going a mile a minute. Because I couldn't say yes to anything. I had to say no to everything. And it made me reflect and say, you know what? I need to say no more often. I need to make sure that the things that I'm saying yes to are to my family and to the growth of my company and to the commitment I have to my agents. And I think what's really important is for you guys to really think about that going into 2022 is, what am I saying yes to? And maybe it's time for you to say no to the things that aren't helping you with your growth personally, professionally, and spiritually.
Yeah. Your family loved having a captive audience, didn't they, Heather?
I did puzzles. My family had already had COVID a few months ago, so I didn't, I could just participate with them.
Yeah, well, that's nice. That's fun. That's was an eye-opening time for you. Now, you said in there that your cup needs to be full. So what I'm taking that to mean, and tell me if I'm wrong and if I'm right, would you share a little bit? Cup is full, meaning I've learned things and I've found items that I can share with other people, right? you've learned stuff and you're able to share because your cup is full in that sense. Is that what you mean? And then if that's it, where do you learn from?
Yes, you're right, Mark. I mean, I feel like sometimes if you're drained from negativity or things that aren't people, you're not able to give the right way to others. And a lot of that's a shift change, right? Instead of me saying, "Woe is me, I have COVID," I said, "Wow, this is an amazing opportunity for me to fill my cup so that I can pour back into the people that I love." And so I think it's all just a little bit about your mindset change and just making sure that you're consistent with what you say yes and no to.
Yeah. All right. So there's a question in the chat box. You started talking about three main things to grow your business. Now, what I thought I heard you say is three databases that people should be working. You said command referrals was one of them, and then you had two others. Is that right, Heather?
Yeah, so in our business, one of the things I teach our agents is making sure that they have three different sources to grow their business, right? So maybe it's internet leads, that's through Command. We use a platform as well. Maybe it's the network of referral network with KW, or it's networking, which could be through your church, through your kids, through whatever. But you have to have at least three different spheres that have 12 or more people that you can consistently market to, that they could be kind of your sales force that are going to go out and help you grow your business. So that's just been really important to me. I know for me, when I was growing my business, if I didn't have 12 appointments every single week with those three sources, then I did not stop. So if I didn't have 12 appointments a week, which Friday was always my office day, I knew that I needed to go out and get more appointments because I needed to be in front of more people in order to help me with growing. But when I'm meeting with those people, you guys, I am not talking real estate. I'm getting to know them on a personal level and asking them about their life. And in turn, they ask you about yours. So it was about building the relationships, because the relationships is we're in a relationship business. I mean, it's just what we are in.
Yeah, it's one of the things that we teach in the MRA, right? I think what you're talking about is that group of core advocates that you spend extra time with. You have coffee, you have lunch, because you know that they will pour out back into you if you sow into them. And that will mean referrals and other opportunities. Yes?
Absolutely. I can give an example if you want to. When I had my kids, I had there at the hospital where I had my girls, they had a new moms group. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this because that could be one of my spheres, right?
Yeah.
So my husband and I, we go back and we track where all my businesses come from. And recently, I just had another closing in Texas. I haven't even been in Texas in years. I got a referral from an agent there. But year to date, I've revenued almost $400,000 from one new moms group in Texas when I had my babies. So I think that's a sphere that I've poured into, and in turn, it's not only grown some amazing dear relationships I have in my life, but also been a huge win financially.
Yeah, that's terrific. Thank you for sharing that. All right, so you invest into your clients and your sphere. You also invest into your team, which takes us to the last slide. So tell us about that.
My team will say this is I love to make people uncomfortable.
Well, that's what we say in bold, right? You have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
So I always say a great leader takes people where they want to go. A leader takes people where they want to go. A great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go, but they ought to be. And I think for me, it's like recognizing that you're in this position, thank God, to help lead a phenomenal group of people. They might not necessarily see, you might not, I know a God-given gift of one of my agents. They might not see it today, but I know it. And if I can just help them get there, then that to me is more rewarding than anything else. So I think that a true leader has to recognize that you've got to push people way outside of their comfort zone, and you have to reward the loyalty of awesome people in your organization.
Yeah. So, and you take time, you have a regular interval where you kind of do that, or are you always looking for opportunities to grow people?
Yeah, so we do lots of different things, Mark. We do sales meetings twice a week. I'm not twice a week, twice a month. We also
Twice
have
a month better, yeah.
we have coaching. Our leadership team goes through coaching every single week. We've just launched a productivity coaching company that that does productivity coaching with all of our new agents. We also have another performance-based coaching that is really for agents that have sold at least 7 deals or up. So we have different plans in place to help our agents get to goals that we know they can get to.
Yeah, love it. All right, so this is everybody's chance to raise your digital hand and ask Heather some questions. We've got her for a few more minutes here before we share a few closing pieces. So who wants to ask the first question? Who wants to jump in? Zoltan, you're up.
Hey, Heather, thanks so much for sharing everything. This has been great information. You mentioned that there were 3 things to do to grow your business, and one of them should be command, but what were those 3 things that you suggest?
Yeah, so for me personally, when I've looked at my business, I always look at, well, let me say this. I focus on my strengths, okay? For me, I'm definitely not a phone person. I have a very high pitched voice, so I know my strength, I know my weakness. So I'm a big networker. So I'm very big on getting out and networking myself with people that don't know who I am. So I love going into rooms where I don't know a soul. So mine is networking for me personally. And then I also focus on the referral network that you have in front of you right there. And then I also, for me, my third one is agent recruit. So I use social media as a huge platform. I'd like to do attraction marketing. So I like people to get to call me. And I do that through my social media platforms.
Thank you
Zoltan,
so
thank
much.
you. Thank you for the question. Do you have a follow-up question, Zoltan?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. So I love what you're saying in there, Heather, because what you're saying is I recognize that I have strengths and weaknesses. What I'm going to do is spend my time in my strengths and leverage the weaknesses, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Gonzalo, you're next. What's your question?
Hey, Heather, how you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for your time, first of all. Just wanted to ask you a quick question. If you were a new agent starting out from scratch, trying to tap into the luxury space, what are the top 3 things that you would do right now in this current conditions?
Yeah. So the top 3 things that I would do is, who are your spheres? I mean, that's fully loaded question, right? Do you have a database at all? Or are you trying to build a database of luxury clients and how to market to them? Is that what you're trying to allude to?
Correct. Yeah. If you were starting brand new and you were just looking to tap into that space, what are the top 3 things that you would do to tap into that space? I'm guessing, like you said, go to networking events and stuff like that and kind of get your name out there.
Yeah, so you have to do that, but you also have to have strategic partners that are already consistency in that luxury space and figure out how you can partner with them, right? So, and how you can leverage their network to help you grow your network. And it's figuring out who in your community are the top players and then kind of, I don't want to say shadow them, but be part of their world to help you grow your business. I say with the Caine Luxury team, we've got high performing ads. So our average lead sales price is 1.2 million, right? So it's making sure that you find who your strategic partners are that can help you get into that luxury space. Because if your personal sphere is not luxury, then you need to figure out how you can change your sphere to help you grow. People think, oh, I'm just going to sell luxury real estate. It really just doesn't work that way, you guys. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. My first sales price was $125,000. And then as I went on, it went to 350, 550, 750, 1 million, 3 million. So it just kept going up over the years that I sold real estate. In order to just jump straight into to luxury real estate, you have to have a luxury sphere. And if you don't have one right now, you need to work your way into getting one. Because most of the luxury sales are based off relationships and who they know and who they trust. And that is what's so important. So it doesn't happen overnight unless you have the sphere.
And Heather, one of the things I think, if I'm tracking with you, is because you've talked about being authentic and being real. So if you're going to build that sphere, don't join the boat club if you don't like boats. find the thing that you like, right? That would put you in a luxury area. If you love cars, then get involved with, people who drive high-end cars, sell high-end cars, do that. But whatever would be your strength zone is.
Correct. Yeah, I think so many people say I want to sell luxury, but they really don't have the interest or the hobbies or anything to connect with any of those individuals or have the right sphere to do it. So, one of the things we talk about as a team is stay in your lane. Don't look in the rearview mirror. Don't turn on the turn signal. Just go, just do it. Take action, because at the end of the day, actions equal results. So don't worry about what I see so many new agents do is they say, I'm going to break into luxury. Well, what happens is they miss their sphere. And then their sphere thinks, you know what, I can't even call him if I want to buy or sell because he only works luxury. And then you've pigeonholed yourself and you've not created an opportunity to help everyone, because a $350,000 client can refer you a $2 million client. But if you never create the opportunity to have a $350,000 client, you're never going to get that 2 million.
Yeah, I love that. You're just dropping this MRE all over us, aren't you? It's a build a database, feed it every day, communicate in a systematic way, and service all the leads that come your way, right? And that's what you're talking about, service all the leads.
One of the things that drives me nuts, Mark, is, I provide a ton of leads to our team and they're probably getting a little squirmy in their seat right now. But if I have a $250,000 lead that comes in, they go, ugh, I don't want to work it. Okay, well, you're a brand new agent. How many deals have you closed? 2. Why in the world are you do you know that 250,000 could be a 2.5 million, but yet you haven't cultivated the relationship to know what that is? So I think it's making sure that you don't say, that's revenue generating, you guys. Maybe there's other things you need to say no to, but you need to say yes to that, because that's potential business.
Yeah, great advice. Thank you. Dr. Wheeler, you're up. What's your question for Heather Caine? You're on mute still.
I said thank you for the opportunity to ask this question.
Glad to have you here.
Yeah, thank you. I still have something on my screen. That's okay. Heather, I think you mentioned that by listing with you, they automatically go into Wall Street Journal and Byron's in 28 languages. Is that unique to luxury?
Yes.
Or is that, yeah, I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, you have to be part of the KW Luxury Network in order to have that done. So people that join our team here at the Caine Luxury team, that's something that we offer our clients, our agents.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a great part of value proposition. And it's great that you're mentioning it, Heather, because people don't always realize that. That was a script we were talking about that you rattled off. That's just part of what you share with people to teach them what Keller Williams has as their value proposition, right?
Yeah, so the question that I would have for all of you guys right now is, what is the KW value proposition and what is your value proposition? Right? Do you want me to share with you guys what our value proposition is?
That'd be terrific.
Okay. So when you work with a Caine Luxury team, not only are you partnering with the #1 luxury real estate company in the world, but you're also partnering with one of the #1 luxury teams here in Southwest Florida. When you work with the Caine Luxury team, you are actually working with 65 agents. When you hire us, do you believe in power in numbers, Mark?
I sure do.
Okay, well, when you partner with us, you're partnering with 65 agents that are going to push your property out to get sold.
Wow.
Not only that, but your listing gets translated into 28 different languages and gets syndicated to Wall Street Journal, Mansions Global, and Barron's Collier. Barron. Sorry, I'm out of breath. That's called.
No, that's right. You're right on. Yeah, and that's just.
I haven't finished.
That's just because you're right on it. Yeah, you got Barron's, and then I know the rest.
I'm not finished. I got a lot to say, Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so also when you partner with a KW, you have what's called buyer mapping, right? Where we can strategically market your home to the specific buyers to your needs. All right. You also, when you partner with the Caine Luxury team, you're partnering with a design firm that's going to help invest in your investment, that's going to help you get top dollar in your home. Okay. And then on top of that, you're partnering with a company that is going to make sure that your property stands out above the rest. Not only from photography to videography to Zillow to everything that you need to make sure that your home can't compete with the competition because it already stands out above the rest. Through technology, through design, we are going to make sure that your home gets sold quickly and for top dollar.
Fantastic. That's awesome. So what I love in there is you woven in your story as the Caine luxury team, but there are a lot of things on there that everyone on this call can grab onto. #1 luxury company in the world, 28 different languages, Wall Street Journal, Mansion Global. Those are all things everybody has
Buyer
access to.
mapping,
A buyer mapping, what
1
you've
billion
added
in
in is,
technology.
yeah, all of those things. You've added in your design team and the other pieces that'll make the property stand out. And anyone on this call can add those pieces and layer them in. But
Yeah.
that's terrific. Really well said. It demonstrates what an amazingly powerful thing it is to understand your value proposition to people. So
Absolutely.
awesome. We love that. All right. Well, we just want to thank you, Heather, for sharing so much with us today. We want to share your contact information with people if they have any follow-up questions and want to get a hold of you. You're there in Naples, Heather at thecaneluxuryteam.com. And we're going to show a couple of other things. We're so grateful that you were here to share with us today and look forward to seeing you again soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Mark.
All right. So as we roll forward, we're going to share just a couple of things with you before we go here. The social media toolkit. This is the link to that. Now, if you're looking to add pieces to what you're doing, this is for earned in agents, but we want to actually also flip here and show you how it's on the luxury site and how easy it is to find this. If you click on communities and then click on Luxury Hub, it will take you right there to the social media toolkit. Then you go to the left and you hit on that toolkit and you just click right into it, and it will give you materials that you can access and you can use in your business, and they're already produced for you. So look at this. Keller Williams Luxury sold over 73 billion, up 124% from 2020. It's done for you. These pieces are ready, right? As you roll down, Ariel, what are the other things that we have in here? High-end getaways, right? Travel things, high-end luxury travel items. What's changed in our market? So informational pieces that you can use and dialogue and a copy that can go with that. So heck, you could make a video out of these. You could make printed email stuff, anything you want. Holiday stuff, happy Thanksgiving. All this social media stuff is available to you on the social media kit. So we try and just remind you of some of the pieces that you have available to you that are already created, because you might not have your own design team, and yet you want to have a powerful branding message, a powerful marketing message. A lot of that is available for you right there on the social media toolkit on the KW Luxury site. Okay. Also want to remind you that if you are in the South Florida region, you have access to the Michael Lewis Marketing Suite. The digital marketing is free to you. When you get a listing, get with your leadership team and say, hey, I need to connect with the Michael Lewis Marketing Group so I can get some materials pushed out. They'll do just listing, just sold. When you add someone to your team, they'll acknowledge that. They'll really do some other things for you too if you reach out to them. They're partnering with us on this to help us get the luxury brand out there in South Florida, and they would love to help you as well. It's part of what we've done as a team to provide you a service and additional materials that you can use. Okay. We also want to remind you there's more knowledge coming your way. Brady Sandler's done an amazing job with the Luxury Learning Series. That's live streamed on Connect every Friday at 1 o'clock from 1 to 1:30. Everybody is invited to that call. You don't have to be an earned in member to Luxury, so anybody can do that. There is an earned in call monthly, but this one is available to everybody on the call. So we want you to know about that and want you to learn from Brady and to continue to grow your real estate business. Okay.
Mark?
Yeah.
Before we move on, someone has a question about how to become a luxury, how to earn into luxury with KW.
Yeah, well, the requirements are that you have to have, when we open this up, you have to have 4 luxury sales in your marketplace in the last 2 years. So if you get with your leadership, they can share with you what your luxury threshold is in your marketplace, and they can help you to get to the earned in requirement. So that's what I would do is I would get with my luxury team and or my team leader and my leadership team and talk about the opportunity in that market center, because the luxury price point is different in every marketplace. The minimum threshold is 700, I believe. But in some marketplaces, it's $1 million. So yeah, get with your leadership team and they can help you out on that. Okay. Thanks for the question, Mona. Our next luxury call will be December 14th at 1 o'clock. We will have another super guest for you, and we will answer questions for you at that time as well. We are excited that you joined us today. Let's see. We have one more question here before we go. Ariel in the chat box.
We do. They're asking about some of the benefits if they're not quite earned in yet.
If you have a luxury listing, something over $1 million, but aren't an earned in member, do you get access to luxury tools? The answer is yes. You can get some of the luxury tools. The difference is you can't market yourself as luxury ahead of time, but you'll have access to luxury tools. So if you need help with that, we can connect you with that as well. I would seek out your leadership first on that. There's all kinds of stuff on this site that you're showing, Ariel. So if you haven't
It's
seen
KW Connect.
on KW Connect, yeah.
Mhm.
And you click on the luxury hub and you can get all this stuff here. And some is available to everybody, some of it is specific. But when you have a listing, yes, you can market with this stuff. So we would love to have you do that. Okay. All right. Thanks for being on the call today. Next call, December 14th at 1 o'clock. And we're excited about what's happening in the luxury division in South Florida. Look forward to growing with you. And I want to thank again our guest today, Heather Caine. Thank you so much for being here, Heather. You were fantastic. We love the way you taught us how to know our value proposition. That was my favorite part today.